Hammery. Be frozen. Can you hear me, Hammery?
Good evening and welcome to the 9320 PUBcast. As you well know, our illustrious leader is away on his jollies again. So tonight we have the pleasure of Paddy and a huge welcome back. We've missed him to Stan.
Stan's back.
We've missed you, Stan. And I can only apologise for our late start because I had trouble getting back from the game, but I'm here now. I'm interested to hear everyone's thoughts because obviously some people will have watched it on the telly and will have had a different view to the view I had. But I'm just intrigued as to what people's thoughts are on today's game. Paddy, would you like to kick us off?
No, our esteemed guest is back. We'll let him go first.
Go on, Stan. Tell us about today's game.
Yeah, it was a funny one, wasn't it? We started off well enough, and then Arsenal started getting a little bit upset that they realised they can't play football, so they started kicking, booting, and going into the world of the dark arts. And to be fair to them, it worked. They got a couple of goals. You know, it's interesting when they say that you should defend stronger against Arsenal. You know, despite some of them centre-backs being 6'2", 6'3", they'll just fall over, like Gabriel did when Haaland got hold of him at the end. Fantastic bit of shithousery and all there, banging the ball against his head. And, you know, fight till the end, I want shithousery to the end. And we got there, we kept going. It was I can see why people get frustrated with Diaz, Walker, and who was it? The other one who was just slamming balls in, shooting. The problem is when you've got 10 players, right, that are stood in a line that's thinner than a postage stamp, you can't get the ball in there to do the little turns. You can't create the space. The space isn't there. So I can understand them doing it, but I just wish they didn't boot it over the bar, because if you make the keeper save, there can be a deflection or he has to parry it out or something, and and you're into the 50-50 and you're 4 yards away instead of being 22 yards away. So yeah, we kept our cool. We kept going, and I won't say we deserved a point. We deserved 3 points. There's no doubt about that. They're Arsenal, aren't they? They're just a shite Wimbledon, let's be honest.
And before I forget, welcome to everybody in the chat. Like I say, apologies for our late start. It was my fault. Couldn't get a decent bloody tram back from the Etihad. But Paddy, your thoughts on today's game?
I thought the way we started was unbelievable. I think Rodri going off did negatively impact us because they did come in there at towards the last 15 minutes of the second half. And then the second half was just an example of anti-football. Like the stats, I seen the stats online, 88% possession versus 12, and these are title challengers. Like as Stan said, they put a bank of 6 and a bank of 4. And as frustrating as it was for us, I think we could have been that little bit more creative. We played the ball in front of them. We were shooting from outside. The only time we created panic in behind them was when Jack Grealish ran at them from the short corner. That brought them all back into the box, and it created pandemonium. I'd have liked to have seen us doing that, banging the balls, rather than shoot directly at Rhea, whatever you call him. But as Stan says, you could have got a deflection off that. But equally, if you have 8, 9, 10 players going for a ball that's coming across a goal mouth, you have a bigger chance of an own goal than you have of us scoring. But I thought it was absolute anti-football, and I thought I think it was great that John Stones come out afterwards and Pep. John Stones called them dirty. Pep called them interruptions. So it was good to see them getting called out. But that second half of football was anti-football. Anti-football. It was embarrassing, me.
It was embarrassing. I'm interested because obviously I was at the game, but I didn't get a clear view of the 2 incidents. The first one was what happened from kickoff with Rodri and Havertz.
Well, from what I could see on the TV, it was an off the ball soldier charge. Like he ran past Rodri and he had in his chest. So how that wasn't a booking, and VAR reviewed it and says it was a barging of the bodies. Well, it wasn't a barging of the bodies when you actually go in and go for someone. Like if you're walking down the high street and somebody's coming against you, you can easily avoid that person, you know. Like you just don't go straight into them. And it was fairly deliberate. And I thought, right, we've only kicked off and they're at it. And I expected a hell of a lot more. And they did it. They actually did it. And they got away with that party fella, that fella, I don't know
Tom
if he was
Party.
but he was a dirty animal.
Yeah. And for me, they targeted Rodri right from kickoff.
But I think the foul or the injury itself was just the way whatever he tangled his legs or whatever. It wasn't a foul by any stretch of the imagination.
No. But Spanish television, and I know it's only the Spanish television, but they're saying that he's done his ACL, which will be a massive blow to us if he has. I'm going to give you...
Recall Kevin Phillips over.
No, we're not that desperate. I'm going to give you my thoughts on the game. For me, I think, 100% honest, I think Arsenal and Arteta are an absolute disgrace. That's my opinion. The time wasting, the basic cheating, really. And like you say, anti-football. That second half was an absolute farce. And if we played 6 minutes at the end of the first half, there should have been at least 10 minutes added to the end of the second half. Never mind the 7, I think, that the fourth official held up. I thought it was embarrassing. If I was an Arsenal fan, I wouldn't want to watch us play like that, because the way they went down anytime anybody went near them, it was horrendous. And we deserved 3 points today, but I can tell you the relief I felt when John Stones put that ball in the net was incredible. I was never a massive fan of Arteta anyway, but it shows me that there's no gentlemanly conduct with him at all. And I can well imagine Pep having words with him at the end of the game, because the way they did it and the way they play acted was embarrassing.
Do you know what he is, Anne-Marie? He's another Mourinho.
Yes. You know, he's got this air of arrogance about him, and yet he's won nothing.
He's won in the FA Cup, is he? During COVID?
Oh, I don't know whether did he win the FA Cup during COVID?
Stan?
Was he manager then? He might have been.
Is Stan with us?
I think we're just getting Stan back. I think he's having a few issues.
But yeah, and you think the people wanted Arteta to replace Pep?
No way.
No, not a hope.
No, don't want him anywhere near our club.
That second half was nothing short of shambolic. Like that was like for two teams who are supposed to be challenging for the Premier League.
There was only one team wanted to win that game in the end.
And it was the same last year. They came for a draw last year.
And the other little point I would make is I thought if Michael Oliver is the best referee this country's got to offer, we have got serious issues.
But what in fairness, I wouldn't defend any referee, but what do you want him to do? Like Sky Sports called it shape.
Paddy, if we just look at goal kicks, he needed to get a grip of that situation earlier on in the game, because they were constantly taking the time, then deciding to swap sides and various different things to take the kicks. It was just out and out time wasting, and the referee is in control of the game. So it's up to him to take action on it. And he didn't. And that concerns me, in that if he is the best this country has got to offer, we have got serious problems with our referees.
Yeah. I think it was a very hard match for him to ref because of what Arsenal were doing. Like he told Arsenal players several times to get up off the deck and played on when he went down me cramp.
Yeah, but then there was one point towards the end, Paddy, where Timber had been down and received treatment in the box, and then he got up, walked away, walked outside of the box, went down again, and the referee had waved play on, which we did, and we were about to launch an attack, and then he blew his whistle. Yeah,
he stopped to play. Yeah. You see, like, you can blame the referee, but that was just pure and utter fucking nonsense from Arsenal what they were doing. Like, it's fairly ironic when he was like that Raya fella, that goalkeeper, was diving on the ball from minute one and wasting time, and they were all wasting time going down with all these fucking fake injuries so they can have a team meeting on the side. Wasn't it so ironic that we scored in the 97th or 98th minute?
Yeah.
Just to rub salt into their wounds. Are you back, Stan?
Are you back with
us,
Stan?
I don't know. Well, I'm saying I don't know what happened there. I've not known what's been going on for the last 2 years, but there we go. Welcome back. And thanks to everyone. While I remember for, the well wishes and asking where I was. Oh, yeah, it was appreciated. Yeah, well, again, that extra time we played, that was nowhere near enough. I just feel as though we've been deprived a winner. Could have been at least another 6 or 7 minutes, and we could have done something then. Particularly as we had scored, and you could just see a lot of them, everything. everything just blew out of them like a balloon. You know, when you blow a balloon up and then you let it go and it goes all around the room. That's what they were like. Would have got another one in within 5 minutes if he'd have done his job properly. But there we go.
I saw the sub getting a card. I'm not sure who it was though that actually got the yellow card.
I know who it was. He hadn't even made his Premier League debut, and he was booked before he even played on a Premiership match. Did you not see? Well, you probably wouldn't see it, Amory, because you were at the game. But there was a bit of disagreement between, I think it was Gabriel and Haaland, and that little sub who was booked before he even come on, was coming over and interfering, and Haaland was saying, "Who the F are you? Who the F are you? Who the F are you?"
That's another one though, Paddy. That's 100% come from Arsenal. That if you're going to get somebody to get a booking, get the least influential person. So they've asked this kid who nobody knows anything about, nobody's bothered about him. He gets a yellow rather than Gabriel getting a yellow because he'd have had to come on then and play. So he's been asked to take one for the team, and he's done his job because he's got the delay and all that. And him getting a yellow card, it's nothing, it's just nothing. And he got his debut there as a bit of a reward for taking a yellow for the team, and that's what they are. So that's how they play.
I'm actually thinking what Arsenal did today is beyond words. It's beyond description.
Well, you know what? I genuinely think they've realised they can't beat us on the pitch. They can't beat us in the courts. They're properly out of avenues now.
Because these are the fellas that are, that are out to get us. Arsenal are going to be right up there because they think we're cheats. Obviously, we know Liverpool and United are going to be in it. The ones that surprise me are the likes of Chelsea because they haven't got a leg to stand on with the way they've been buying players over the last couple of seasons. So it's going to be, it's going to be interesting to see what comes out in all of this. And obviously, we're a week into what is it? It's supposed to be 10 weeks?
10 or 12 weeks.
Yeah. So we're week 1 done. And we're hearing nothing, which is always a good sign.
Amory, you're dealing with barristers, so you will not hear it. Nothing's going to leave that room.
Not unless they want it to.
Right? No, they can't. You see, because the minute something leaks from that room, the trial then is in jeopardy. It's gone. Well,
they've been doing it. They don't particularly have to do it now because, and we know it's Arsenal. There's stuff that's been coming out of the Times, and the guy who's the head of the journalism for Times Sport, Owen Slot, is married to Juliet Slot, the Arsenal CEO. Now, City took UEFA to court. They went to CAS, saying, there's that much getting leaked out. What's going on? It's been happening again now, and this is why we've got the witch trial of if you win that, it was nothing to do with you being innocent. You just had a bigger brown check. If you lose it, well, that's all right. Everyone knew you were cheating anyway. So we're down to a witch trial now, and you can't really take that serious. It will be serious because they'll do what they can to stop us, but the Americans really, really don't like brown owners, and there's no doubt about that.
What Gordon was saying there, it's funny when Erling threw the ball at Arsenal players, it was Gabriel. Just to say here, have it. But I can't see Arsenal or how's anyone with half a football brain, and I don't pretend to know everything about football, but I think anybody with half a brain would find it very, very hard to understand how Arsenal could be seen as title challengers after that performance today.
Yeah, I would agree with you, Paddy, because like I say, it disappoints me to think that they think the title challengers. I'm not saying that they're not, but with that kind of attitude and to play like that and to play act like that, that is not the sign of a champion. Not by any stretch of the imagination. No. And that's...
You're right, Sean. We should have buried them. We should have been a lot more creative, but
Do you think if we'd have moved the ball quicker in the second half, we'd have had more of an impact? Because when we were just passing it across the box, it was all very slow and very kind of, well, Diaz is going to pass to Akanji. Akanji's going to pass it back to Diaz. Diaz is going to pass it to Walker. Walker's going to pass it back to Diaz. I mean, it was very kind of predictable.
That's exactly why he was kicked out of the game. Rodri was kicked out of the game. He'd have had that going from left to right. 11 against 11. And it's his speed of thought and the speed of feet which makes him so valuable as a player to City. I mean, he's fundamental. It was. And that's because he can get those. He can get those little, what's the word? He can put through those little balls because he is so fast and he doesn't give the defence a chance to react or to set. They were well set today. There was a lot of times where you could say that they were just sat there 5 and 4 and they didn't move. And to be fair, they didn't need to move. But that comes back to what you were saying, Anne-Marie. We didn't have Rodri in there to get that ball going at 100 mile an hour, left to right, pulling them right as far across as we could. Just one of them.
I don't think that they got away with that with any other team, because any other team is going to be whopping balls in behind. A defender wants you to play in front of him all day long. He wants you so he can see you. He doesn't want to be running back towards his goal. He doesn't want the ball coming in between him and the goal.
That's the whole point, though. That's the whole point, Paddy. You couldn't do that. They were camped on the 6-yard line. You can't make a run and get in behind them. They're sat on top of Raya, and then there's it's a paper thin. That was the entire problem. That you can't get in and do what normally a lot of other teams would have done. But then again, a lot of other teams playing Arsenal wouldn't have played like that. They wouldn't have needed to because they didn't feel confident. They only sat back and bombed out the penalty area because they were playing City. You couldn't get in behind them.
But you knew exactly what they were going to do at the start of the second half when they took off Saka and brought on Ben White.
Yeah. I mean, they put the white flag up then. There's no doubt about that. It's just... What I'm saying is, I don't think that route of getting down the side and around them was going to work because they just didn't come out. They weren't even 5 yards outside their own 18-yard box. No. If they'd have been there, then yes, I could understand it. And then, I mean, a couple of times, when they did get forward, I was thinking, come on, Eddie, just boot it straight over the top and give Edison a chance to run onto that ball. He'll shove Gabriel off the ball. He's got no problems with knocking him straight out. But it didn't. You're right. It wasn't quick enough, but it just didn't quite have the people in the right place to make that happen. Does that make sense?
What was the so-called superstar, Declan Rice? One of the best.
Well, he was. Well,
like he got his chance to shine today. Rodri was off the pitch. Why didn't he shine? Why didn't he grab the game with his rough neck and take control?
Yeah, I mean, Jack Lee's right here. Arsenal were the architects of their own downfall. They had nobody. There was no escape clause. There was nobody up there even if they just ran the ball down into the corner and hung on and gave them a chance to get set and maybe get a corner, fair enough. But
have a bit of spine.
But I know, and that's the interesting thing, because in the second half, they did have a couple of free kicks in our half, and it was literally two.
Yeah.
And Declan Rice took the two of them. And to watch him looking over to the bench as if to say, what do I do? Was an absolute farce for a professional international player to not know what to do. I mean, nothing came of them, but it just begs the question, has he not got a thought in his own head?
Well, he's got the master manipulator there, hasn't he? Lego Web. I don't know, he'll be there saying doing this and doing that. Well, you know, it's football, in it, in a way. You know, we've had a team there that nobody's going to come here and be that negative. So we've got it out of the way. We got the point. They preferred the 3, but yeah, I suppose Declan had all the consistency of skimmed rice, didn't he?
Yeah.
Well, what's that thing? What's that thing that forms on the top of rice when it starts? The coat. Not skimmed rice.
It is
the skin, yeah.
Skin, yeah.
He had all the consistency of the skin of some rice. Well, honestly,
a question for you, and you'll have a better judgment on it than I do. Why did Arsenal's second goal stand, but when Akanji scored that goal against Liverpool, it was disallowed?
Yeah.
Was there a foul in it?
Yeah.
No, there wasn't.
I called a foul before it went. I said to me, mate, there's the foul. They're going to score. Bang, it happened. And it happened again the last game they played, Tottenham. Oh, this fella, he jumps in.
The stand froze on us. That's not a good look.
I'll tell you why I didn't think it was a foul, Emery, is Arsenal players, we know their game by now. They block the keeper. Ederson is not a midget by any stretch of the imagination. If
they come out for a corner, though,
he doesn't command his area. Like, I'm over 6 foot myself, and I'm a big lad, and I'd be able to hold my own against anybody stood up beside me. On the 38th minute, I think it was, the first chance they had when Duku was marking Gabriel, he fell to the ground again the first time. And then when they scored, he fell to the ground again. Like a fucking big snowflake. Use your arms. Make space for yourself. Break their fucking jaw if they're too close to you. Come out, take ball, take man, like they used to do. Ederson's an awful habit of falling to the ground, and it drives me bananas. He's a big lump. He's as big as I am.
Yeah, it's the same problem, isn't it? It's what's going on off that ball, like you say. Ederson's been stopped twice. The Tottenham keeper was stopped. Normally, it's Ben White doing the shithousery on the goalkeeper, but he wasn't playing today. Can't remember who it was, but they did the same thing. But I tell you then, Paddy, I'll tell you now, one keeper's going to do that. He'll flatten the lot. And the amount of bawling and bitching and appealing and carrying on that they'll get for the penalty, it'd be biblical. It'd be biblical. You can't touch them.
You have to be able to get it back. Our keeper didn't get it back today. He's like a big dope stud there and be pushed around. Make room, man.
Who's that?
Ederson.
Yeah, you get him pushed in the back. You can't see it, can you?
No, but it doesn't. We were just chatting there, Stan, about the corners and things. He doesn't command his box. Because at no point did he make an attempt to come and claim any of those corners.
No, he doesn't. No, but he doesn't play like that, does he? You know, they are all different. But I tell you what, let's hang on, let's wait, and then we'll see it. Somebody will clatter an Arsenal player, and the bitching will be biblical. We went
Well, I'm sure they'll be bitching big style about Trossard getting sent off for the second yellow.
He could have had 3 yellows, Anne-Marie.
I don't doubt it, Paddy. But my understanding, the second yellow was for stopping us taking a quick free kick.
Yeah.
Well, it could have been
exactly the same as Declan Rice got sent off for the other week.
Well, there was 3 things, wasn't there? Him kicking the ball away, right? Stopping the free kick, or the actual incident itself where he's elbowed Bernardo in the back. That's a yellow card. So you can pick any one of them 3. Any one of them 3. In fact, I'm quite happy that he's picked kicking the ball away, because at the moment, anything involved in that pisses them off. So if it pisses them off, that'll do me. I actually thought the elbow in the back was the one that should have had the yellow card. But if he's gone with kicking the ball away, that's fine.
Yeah.
We've missed you, Stan.
It just get me. I mean, what was the other one? No, they wanted the yellow card, didn't they? They wanted the yellow card for Doku for kicking the ball back to where the free kick should have been placed. Jesus Christ, if a goalkeeper lamped one of them, they want compensation. Have you been injured at work? I got an Edison punch in the back of my head. Oh, yeah, now. I'm going to turn into Roy Keane here. It was a favour. Now, to be fair, I thought he was quite good tonight, Roy. Old Roy.
He put that Mick Richards back in his box.
Yeah, he was having none of it, wasn't
he? He did.
Mick Richards was like Gabriel and the other fella, what do you call him?
Merson.
2 best defenders in the Premier League, and Roy Keane says. But they conceded 2 goals. Yeah,
all three of them either played or supported Arsenal, didn't they?
Yeah.
And it took Roy Keane to, back us up. World's greatest defence ever. That centre-back partnership. Nothing can beat it. Absolutely world class, says Merson. Yeah, they conceded 2, said Roy, end the conversation. How that man, after what he said about Kevin Brun, he's still employed. I will never, ever, ever. I don't know. Somebody's just stolen a living for 10 years and it's in.
Yeah, but you can have your own little fun now, though, because you can get him voted off the dancing, can't you?
Well, I'm not gonna spend any money on that. Is it free?
You can vote for free, yeah, online.
Oh, I might do that then.
Because he looked a bit of a prick dancing along to Vindaloo last night, I have to say that.
He's a prick.
You don't watch that, do you?
I do like a bit of Strictly. It's feel-good telly. It's harmless. It puts a smile on my face.
I don't know why.
Well, that's fair enough. You know what I mean? It's whatever gets you through the days now and again, isn't it?
Exactly. I can't think of what his name's Chris, and I can't remember what his surname is, but he's blind. And he did the most amazing dance last night. For somebody who's blind to dance and lift the dancer and everything, you just feel good telly.
He's blind. He's not fucking stupid.
No, but you're on a dance floor. You don't know, Well, it's not a natural thing, Paddy, is it?
Any blind, if you've talked, I know a lot of blind people, and they'll tell you they have this thing called mental mapping. And all you have to do is show them once or twice the outlay of a building, stuff like that, and they will have it down to a T. Where you might take 5 or 6 attempts to get it down to a T, they'd get it down within one or 2 times. They have this thing called mental mapping. So dance steps to a blind person is fairly easy, shall we say.
Sorry, I'm just laughing at Big Morgan.
There's a compliment for you, Stan.
It's a low bar, though, isn't it?
Well,
mind you, over it, so there we go. That's half the battle, isn't it?
Well, the one thing is, we've all got better hair.
I didn't think you'd be getting my leg over the bar like that again.
But we've all got better hair than our illustrious leader, haven't we?
He's gone on that naked dating show, hasn't he?
He has Naked Attraction.
Yeah. Where has he gone?
Yeah, he's gonna be on Naked Attraction in the next few weeks. You'll get to see his little
No, I'm not having that.
display.
He is?
Wee Willie Savo.
Yeah, Wee Willie Savo will be on display.
I can't believe that. I'm not having that. I'm
He is?
definitely not tuning. I can tell you what, I'm definitely not tuning in.
Oh, I wouldn't be watching that.
See that neither.
I'll tell you what, I bet none of your blind mates will be joining in there, Paddy.
Uh-huh.
Just in case. Oh, please. Well, yeah, anyway, it was the other one. Talking to blind bastard. Arteta.
Stan! You can't call him a blind bee.
No, not the blind people. I'm not calling them. They're lovely. I'm calling that blind bastard Arteta. So, if anyone wants to ring in and complain that I was 100% referring to Arteta. No, milk tray man.
You haven't seen his interview yet, Emery, after the match. He had a fist like a slapped arse.
Good. I am glad. I am absolutely delighted.
It was two things that went on there and they were wrong. All right, then, what were they? A lot of things went on and I'm not going to name them.
I'm not kidding you.
You spineless
Is that what he said?
Yeah. I'm taking my ball and going home.
Bastard. Yeah. Well, that's all right. Then there's nothing we can do. We don't know what you're talking about. Shut up and get out.
I'll say something, but I won't actually say to you what I'm on about.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, gold. That's right. Stephanie, you're right there. Goldbridge was having a cry again today after the game.
Please tell me you don't watch him.
No, I don't. I just saw the stuff on Twitter where some City fans were giving him absolute pelters. It was fantastic. It really was good.
And as we had a 2-2 draw at the Etihad, we also had a 2-2 draw at the Emirates this afternoon.
We did.
Women against Arsenal.
Yeah.
And both teams played well in that game. It was on Sky, I think. I watched some of it this morning. And it was a good game. For anybody watching it was a good game of football to watch.
You know what? It was everything that the men's game wasn't. It was two good teams going for it, playing football. Scored a couple of good goals. They went toe-to-toe. If anyone gets a chance, have a look at Jess Park's goal. Absolutely fantastic. But yeah, it was just everything that the men's game wasn't. No snag, no nothing.
No, just two teams getting on with the game.
Well, apart from Arsenal, but I can't think of anything, so I'll leave it be for the minute.
I'm sure it'll
be. That was my little Arteta interview there. I don't know what happened, but because we didn't win, somebody cheated and something happened. Oh, and the refs against us.
It's been an interesting weekend of football. I watched Match of the Day last night. I think Spurs were lucky that their goalkeeper didn't get a red card for deliberate handball outside the box.
Yeah, that's true. If that hadn't have happened and the ref had done the job, Arsenal would have won today.
And I think Martinez for United.
Yeah, that was another one.
Possibly.
I always thought, you see, that's what I mean now. I don't understand football anymore. I always thought if it was the intent was there, and even though you didn't make contact, if the intent was to make contact and you didn't make contact, it was still a red card offence. But all of a sudden now, jumping off the floor with your 2 feet together and coming down on someone, even though he missed, I thought in times gone past, it used to be the intent, violent intent. Doesn't seem to apply now, does it?
No, and neither does walking get a referee in a violent manner. You never hear that anymore, do you?
No.
You know,
Poor
you
old Kev.
go to prison for that nowadays.
Poor Kev.
Uh-huh.
But I tell you something.
It was all up, wasn't it?
Don't be surprised if this happens, actually.
Mm.
We're going to get charged for the not controlling our players. There was about 8-9 players around the ref at one stage.
Yeah, but that was from both sides, wasn't it, Paddy?
Yeah.
So both teams should get charged with it.
Yeah, you can see it's going to come. It's going to come.
Have we not been charged for kicking off late yet this year?
We get
Well, it's
fined.
only a matter of time.
Disappointed with the timekeepers at City.
I'll tell you what. We knew what Arsenal were going to do at free kicks and corners, and our setup wasn't great to combat it, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I know Doku was on Gabriel at the start, and then they put Walker on him, and Walker was playing stupid games with him, touching him. Like, stop fucking touching him and do your job. Pay attention. He went to touch him, your man ran past him, scored the goal.
And that's one of the things, Paddy, because we could see in those corners or the free kicks, Walker was telling everyone else what to do. And perhaps everyone knows what they need to do, and he should be concentrating more on what he needs to do. You know, and who on earth would set up our defence, our defensive line from a corner to have Doku marking Gabriel? Who?
But even that, Anne-Marie, like I say, to me, I'd have put Haaland marking him, but I wouldn't have put Haaland close to him, because if you watch all of Arsenal's goals from corners and free kicks, he takes a run and comes in from, say, nearly outside the 18-yard box and takes a run and jumps. You don't have to be out there along him. Yeah. All you need is the 6-yard box just to block that run coming.
Absolutely.
Because if Walker today was a fine example of that. If Walker had been 2 yards between him and the goal, instead of he just walked past Walker and left him for dead, he was going to run into Walker. But why didn't they put Haaland on him? Haaland's over 6 foot.
No, I mean, they're things that we'll never know and we'll never really understand, Paddy, unfortunately. But when you sat there watching it, it seems fairly obvious that something's not quite right.
But we do have a set piece coach, don't we?
Yeah. I tell you what, though, here's one for you. Now, there is a definite conundrum of balance and physicality within the defence. And that's called, unfortunately, a lad called Rico Lewis. Now, I've got a feeling for this season, he's going to get trapped between a Walker and a Rodri sandwich. If they're both fit and you're up a physical team like Arsenal, he's not going to play Rico. But I do like Rico. He is quick. Now, whether he's speed quick or mentally quick, he does get us out of things at times. He did have an awful start when he first started because he was small and he's young. But whilst he's not particularly beefed up, he's not moaning and he's getting stuck in more. And he's riding tackles better and he's learning his trade. But I think the point that's going to come is, if we did bring him in, if we're defending corners, he's even smaller than Walker. So where would he go? I think this is the thing, and I think you got the point there, Anne-Marie, that there are things that aren't quite fitted at the moment. But I don't think anything's clear and obvious. And what it is just tiny little things that you're going to need the brain of Guardiola to figure out. Because you're certainly going to have to be a little bit of give and take on a couple of things here. I mean, like Walker, all right, he got called to the referee should have waited. But he was still a little bit daydream, wasn't it? I wouldn't say he...
And that's where we leave Stan for tonight.
Hopefully he'll get back to us. But Stan's right in what he's saying. You know, if the referee calls you to him, you listen to him, and then you get straight back to what you need to do, and not kind of. Yeah, and yes, I know it's easy for me to say that, but I think
you see, a lot of people think that their goal came from that. It didn't. Like when he struck, like Walker caught him up, right, and he passed back to that new Arsenal left back, and then he just hit it. It's a worldly. He could try that another 100 times. He'd miss 100 of them. But I put a thing up in the group. I actually paused the TV. There was 5 Man City players when he was about to strike that ball. Diaz was at the 6-yard box. Silva was in front of him, and the two of them had their hands behind their back. Savinho didn't go out to him.
No.
Walker was there. You had Walker, you had Savinho, you had Kovacic, Diaz, and Silva. What in the nonder God was Diaz and Silva doing in the box with their hands behind their back and your man about to shoot from outside the box? Why didn't they run out to him?
We tend to do that quite a lot. We tend to back off and not really go and attack or try and tackle anybody. Just looking at some of the comments here, got Healthy Tips saying Silva's game has dropped. I disagree. I thought...
No, I wouldn't agree with that.
I think he seems to be all over the pitch today, as per usual. I'm not saying he was going to get a man of the match performance on it, but I thought he had a decent game today. I don't think
he's covered the most mileage on that pitch today.
Yeah. And obviously we've got, just looking here, who do we think plays against Watford if all fit?
Oh, that's a very good question. Stop on that. Do you think he'll drop? Not drop, but do you think he'll rest Haaland?
I think he might, because we've got another big game or tough game next Saturday morning, 12:30 against Newcastle. I would expect to see Ortega, Lewis, Stones, probably play one of the young lads as the other centre half. That's just.
Yeah. What's the guys in the chat think? Do they think we should rest Haaland on Tuesday night, or do you think we should play him? Now, bearing in mind he is our only striker. Do you think we should employ the false 9 game on Tuesday night and rest Haaland, or would you like to see Haaland start against Watford?
I'd like to see one of the kids playing up front.
Yeah.
Sorry about this. I've always had problems with the internet, and I've gone in the front room here. And it says your signal's a bit funny. Can you get nearer the
Router?
The router. Yeah. I'm sat here. Right. There's the router. Right.
Yeah, that's you're getting that from China, Stan.
Unless I get in it, how much closer do they want me to get? Technology, it's a pain in the ass. Anyway, right, back to the.
Branson, you are.
No, I'm not very good on names either, and I really don't want to butcher his name. But that lad, the young lad who plays up front, is it Ovuwu? Give him a chance up front. Let's have a look at him.
Who?
I'm not saying that again. And I won't say Nico O'Reilly. Let's give him a run. Give him a run.
He's a very good centre half.
Yeah, there's a few of them. We've got some decent young lads there, and I think this is the game where we can get them in there.
Yeah, give McAtee a run out and things like that.
Give McAtee a run out. Who else was on the bench that doesn't always play? All of them. Everyone who was on the bench today, obviously apart from the 2 keepers, get them in. Yeah.
Put Carson in goal and put Ortega in midfield.
I'd love to see that. Or put Edison in midfield. I would love to see Edison play one game in midfield. You know.
Put Ortega in goal and put Edison in midfield.
Yeah, just to see what had happened. The chaos. Fantastic. But it's
you can spray
again,
balls.
I don't know. Predicting that the lineup against Watford, it's peppery wet, isn't it? You got to know. It's hard enough picking a team anyway, but Doku, Savio, they can have a go, give them a and then put my mate Justin up front, and then 3 in the middle there.
I don't know.
Do we not get Calvin Phillips back for the game?
No.
Give him another chance.
Here's a little thought for you. I don't know whether anyone else would agree with me. I'm not sure. While I think he's a very good player and going to be a great player for us, Silvino, I don't think he can play 90 minutes.
Who, Savino?
Yeah.
It's very early.
Not at the moment, no. But I tell you what, that kid, normally you say give him a year, but February, he's going to be on fire.
Like
he's 100%.
It was laser guided.
Yeah. It's not just that though. Have you seen the variety of balls he puts into the middle?
Mm.
It's like no wonder we're confused up front. Suddenly we're like, well, hang on a minute. Ball should be there, not behind me or there or whatever. That'll get knocked out of him, to be fair.
I think one of the things we've forgotten to mention as well, big shout out to Erling for his 100th goal for us today.
Yes.
That is going. I think, big credit to him because it was a good goal today. Great assist from Savino as well. It was a joy to watch. So, full credit to him, Erling. There's certain people.
I think he's getting found out now. Emery Haaland, he hasn't scored a hat-trick in the last 2 matches.
Oh,
he hasn't, no. And he's still not scored a goal against a big team. Maybe all that. I tell you what, though, this is what narks me. I've just seen something. We must take care of Savino, and that is a good point. We should do it. Because I tell you what, it's this Watford game and other little bits and bobs, this is where we're going to miss Oscar Bob. Yeah. That game against Watford, he could have been in there. That unbelievable. That forward line goal, would have been off the scale. Doku, Bob, and Savino. Just tell them. Rotate.
The fellow you can't pronounce his name. He plays up front for the EDS, does he?
Yeah, he does. Yeah. I
can think of who you're on about. I watch the EDS most times.
Is it the EDS or the one above or the one below? I get all mixed up with them all. Yeah, he does. He scores a few.
Big Morg. That is
Morg? I can't go here. That sounds into it. We'll be out and about supporting Arsenal. Oh, tell you what, that's harsh or fair enough. I don't know.
Take it however you want to take it, Stan.
Yeah, but you're going to have to explain yourself there, Big Mark.
Jesus. Don't be encouraged,
Gone over my head, that. Anyway.
Won't be all going over your head in a minute when Jackie stands up.
Most of it does go over my head. So I won't.
Are you ready for it, Paddy?
Hold on, 2 seconds. Stan, have you taken your blood pressure tablets?
Yeah.
Here we go. Go on, Jackie.
Not quite. But today's T-shirt.
Jesus Christ, make me hurt.
I'll stand back a bit so you can get the full view.
Oh dear.
From the North, Guardiola presents
This is a new thing,
Champions of Europe 2023.
Jesus, I've not seen that since Panasonic brought out the original widescreen. Blimey now. You'll have somebody's hands out like that. Just be careful.
that should have given me a trigger warning.
It should have come with the trigger warning, you're right. But, you know, a little bit of amusement for you. Like to brighten your day, lads.
That's her side. Fancy promoting.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Oh. I don't know though, really. How can you follow that? Lost for words.
But, yeah, that's usually the way, Stan. Lost for words. So, is there anything else anybody would like to discuss?
No.
Yeah, I'm confused there because I saw the team today that thought they were going to win the league, and I looked at the league, I couldn't find them. And they're in third place.
Fourth?
Right. Is it fourth? Life comes at you quick. You finish your game and you're in third, and you end up in fourth. That's no wonder they're upset, Arsenal. Tell you, never met a bigger bunch of fannies in my life. No wonder they're called Tarquin. Unreal.
So I think if everyone's okay, we're going to wrap it up for tonight because I need to have my tea.
Who are we playing next week?
We're playing Newcastle next Saturday.
That's it. Yeah, Newcastle away.
Yeah.
And then I take it we've done the European Cup, haven't we, the format?
Oh, yeah, we had a bit of a chat about it last week.
That massive league that everybody's in. It's like Schrodinger's league, isn't it? Everybody's in it, but nobody's in it.
Well, it's just a big cop-out, isn't it? It's another way of them getting around the old Super League.
But it made me laugh last week. There was a couple of lads in work saying, "Oh, you know, you're drawn and all that." But you only have to finish 24th out of 36. And you get another little two-legged thing, innit, against Sporting, I don't know, Sporting Papadon from Albania or something, whoever finishes between 16 and 24. It's ridiculous. It's harder not to go through than it is to go through.
It's a money-making scam, Stan.
Yeah, 100%. You know, you've now got 4 home games and
yeah, 4 home games.
With it.
Looks like 44 home games.
4 home games and 4 away. And the excitement carries on after Christmas.
Exactly.
When will the fun ever begin?
And it carries right on through to July this year, Stan, because of the World Club Super, whatever it is.
Yeah. Well, it's something mad about that. The last 3 or 4 European winners will be in it. Well, now, the way Madrid block up the places, it could be like 15 years before you fall off the end.
Well, Chelsea are in it.
Exactly.
Don't ask me how.
Because about 4 years ago, they won it somewhere. Man, it's a proper Madden, but then again.
Well, that's that co-efficiency things that they're on points or something wrong about, is it?
No, that's how Liverpool ended up in pot 1 of the Champions League.
Yeah, it's because they've done well in the Europa League, isn't it?
Fast.
I don't.
You get points for that Europa League, and then points aren't that bad in comparison to the points you get in the Champions League. So if you do well in the Europa League, there's a very good chance you'll get in pot 1 or pot 2, even though nobody's seen you for years on end.
Are you slagging our neighbours off?
Well, the ones down the motorway, or the quiet ones.
The quiet ones.
The ones with the hole in the roof. I'll take a watering can next time. It's
you only take a snorkel, not a watering can.
Yeah.
No. Hey, at least they'll get the best display for daffodils in bloom in spring. In Spring Award. Oh, to Old Stafford. Anyway. Right, I'll let you get on. Everyone must be...
So, thanks as always to all of you in the chat. We couldn't do this without you. And again, apologies for our late start tonight. Totally my fault, but we got there in the end. And I think, we did quite well without our biggest issue, which is also known as Andy.
Baldinho.
Yeah, Baldinho, that's correct.
You have to vote for him on the naked dating.
Well, that's it. Naked Attraction. If anybody watches it, you'll get to see him. And God knows, just a little reminder of what we've missed tonight. There he is, Andy.
You get him, see him without that nappy on.
I know, that's the thing. You can't
why has he
see
got a screwdriver?
Because it's a character off a kids' programme.
Won't be asking questions like that, Stan.
Well, I'll leave that one with Big Morgs and his caddy glitter. Yeah.
Manchester United.
There you go.
Tell you what, that is 100 times better than the I've got to admit, that is funnier.
So, as always, thanks for everybody in the chat and for all your participation tonight. It's been much appreciated. And all being well, we will see you at 7:00 as normal next Sunday night. And thanks to Paddy and welcome back, Stan. We have truly, truly missed you.
It's good to be back and thanks for your patience.
No, not at all. It's our pleasure. We've missed you. And like I say, take care. Have a good week, everybody. And we will see you next week.
Bye, folks.
Bye.
Bye, all. Bye. Bye-bye.